Hey, welcome back to Lianis vlog. Hope you all are fine. And today we are on a visit to the historical city in Karnataka, Hampi. Basically, the Vijayanagara kingdom, basking in all its glory even after years and centuries of its destructions. It has many unique sights waiting for us. Now we are on the way to Vijay temple in an electric cart. The fascinating history and story of Hampi and Vijayanagara Empire. The history of Hampi and its beautiful monuments are two of the many reasons why you must visit this historically rich temple town. You can see so many stone carved pillars on either sides and a huge well. This seems to have been some beautiful structures that existed long ago but have deteriorated with time. We now have reached the epic center of Hampi's attraction, Vitala temple. One has to pay an entry fees of Rs 30. This temple was originally built in the 15th century and there are many halls, pavilions and stone walls around. As the epic center of Hampi's attraction, Vitala temple is the most extravagant architectural showpiece of Hampi. Vitala, after whom the temple is known, is a form of Lord Vishnu. This aspect of Vishnu was worshipped in this part of this country as their cult deity by the cattle herds. The highlights of Vitala temple is its impressive pillared halls and the stone chariots. The halls are carved with an overwhelming array of sculptures on the giant granite pillar. The stone chariot located inside the campus is almost an iconic structure of Hampi. Each pillar has its own history that dates back to the 15th century, and they speak volumes about the grandeur of Vijayanagara kingdom. The central part of Mahamantapa has 16 decorated pillars having beautiful sculptures and Narsimha and Ali. This set of 16 pillars from a rectangle court, the ceiling of Mahamantapa, is richly designed and structured the beautiful sculptured or ornated pillars of Mahamantapa. See is the musical pillars of Ranga Mantapa. As a part of maintenance, the Mantapa has been restricted the entry of visitors. The Ranga Mantapa is the main attractions of the Vittala temple. The large Mantapa is renowned for its 56 musical pillars. These musical pillars are also known as Sarigama pillars, indicating the musical notes emitted by them. The musical notes are emitted when the pillars are tapped gently. These beautiful carved pillars are made of single stone. This temple has even underground to go around the temple. Once we get down, it is totally dark. You can see pillars. Totally dark. We have switched on mobile lights. The cluster of musical pillars inside the Vittal temple complex was carved out of huge single piece of resonant stone. The emission of musical notes from stone pillars was mystery that fascinated many people down the centuries. Even the British ruler of India were wonderstruck and wanted to discover the secret behind the musical pillar. To satisfy their curiosity and to unravel the mystery behind the amazing pillars, they cut two of the musical pillars of Vitala temple to check whether anything existed inside the stone pillars that resulted in the emission of musical notes. However, they found nothing inside the pillars. The two pillars cut by British rulers still exist inside the temple complex and can be seen by visitors even today. The stone chariot or Ratha stands in the courtyard of temple. It is one of the three famous stone chariots in India. The stone chariot of Vithala temple is actually a shrine that has been designed in the shape of an ornament chariot. The shrine is dedicated to Garuda and had an image of Garuda enshrined into sanctum. As per Hindu mythology, Garuda is the carrier of Lord Vishnu. The wheels of the chariot were once functional and could be rotated by the people, but some years ago the government cemented the wheels in order to avoid causing damage to them. Any further, even tapping the musical pillars to emit musical notes is prohibited, as tapping over the ears have caused some damage to the musical pillars and Ranga Mantapa. The stone doors in Hampi are an impressive pair of monolithic doors that were once part of the entrance of royal enclosure in Hampi. The carved stone doors displays the skills of the craftsmen of the Vijayanagara era. Each stone door was sculpted out of a single huge bull door. The doors have door bolts and pier shaft attached to them even today. Royal enclosure, home of kings and queens. Hampi is home to a number of Jain and Hindu temples, and the royal enclosure spread over 59,000 square meters. This was once upon a time the home of Vijayanagara king and his queens. Today the enclosure lies largely in ruins but still speaks loudly of life it once contained. The royal enclosure in Hampi was the Vijayanagara kingdom's seat of power in its prime. It housed as many as 45 buildings, including the Darbar halls, platform, tanks, underground chambers and temples. There are three entrances to the royal enclosure, two in the north and one in the west. The stepped tank is an elaborate tank which was used for ceremonial purpose of the royal household. The decorative structure has an area of 22 square meter and depth of 7 meters. It is 5-tiered tank and each tires comprise a few steps. These are debris of pillar and structures. The Mahanavami Dibba is one of the most noteworthy structures found among the ruins in Hampi. It is pyramidical platform that was vital to the Dasara celebration observed during the Vijayanagara Empire. The main attraction of this high platform is its decorative carving of elephants, horses, soldiers, and stately processions. One among the few least destroyed structures in Hampi, Elephant Stable, is major tourist attraction. The long building with a row of domed chambers was used to shelter the royal elephants. There are 11 dome tall chambers, some of them are interconnected. The center one is especially decorated and big. The whole building looks symmetric with respect to the central hall. The tower of the central hall resembles, though mostly destroyed, more like that of temples. However, the 5 pairs of domed on either side of Islamic in style, they are better preserved and alternating patterns. Now we are at Queen's Bath. Queen's Bath in Hampi is colossal bath, the architectural excellence prevalent during the days of Vijayanagara Empire. It is located close to entrance of royal enclosure. Queen's Bath is believed to be constructed by Achyutaraya for women for the royal family of Vijayanagara. Though named as the Queen's Bath, it was in all probably used as a private bathing chamber of the king and his queens. It is also believed that the lavish bath was a royal pleasure complex. This belief is due to the location of the bath, which is outside the royal enclosure. The Queen's Bath is a rectangular building. The structure has an area of 30 square meter. A large sunken bath constructed in the center of the structure has an area of 15 square meters and depth of 1.8 meters. The bath is surrounded by beautiful arched corridors having pillars and projection, ornated balconies with windows. Each arched base surrounding the bath is decorated with intricate carved stucco ornamentation on the ceiling and walls placed above the arched base. There are stone steps that lead down to the floor of bath. However, there is no ceiling over the bath and it is open to sky. Hampi has an ostentatious network of aqueducts and canals. that were built to provide water to the buildings, tanks, baths, and temples during the ancient days. Like other public baths in Hampi, the Queen's Bath is also connected to an aqueduct for fresh water supply. The building has a moat surrounding in all its sides. There is a bridge to cross the moat and reach the bath. It is believed that the moat was designed to prevent anyone from entering the building while the bath was in use. Now we have reached Virupaksha temple. The Virupaksha temple is dedicated to Lord Shiva. This temple was constructed in Lakhana Dandesha's assistance, who was an commander under King Devaraya II. Temple has survived through the years and never ceased to prosper. It is still pristine amidst the ruins that surrounded it. It attracts large group of people in the month of December. The yearly chariot festival is conducted. Lakshmi Narasimha temple, this is the large statue in Hampi, is sitting on the coil of a giant seven-head snake called Shisha. The heads of snake acts as the hood above his head. God sits in a cross-legged yoga position with the belt supporting the knees. Sometimes this is referred as Ugra Narasimha. Narasimha means half man, half lion in local language. The original statue contained the image of goddesses Lakshmi, consort of God sitting on his lap, but this statue has been damaged seriously during the raid leading to the fall of Vijayanagara. Even the damaged portion of such a large statue of Lakshmi carved on his lap is missing. Probably it may be laying around in tiny pieces. But the goddess's hand is visible, resting on his back. Now we have reached Lotus Mahal. A tour of Hampi is incomplete without visiting Lotus Mahal. It is one of the fine architectural design palaces that are uniquely identified by its lotus look-like structure. It is one of only a handful, few astonishing buildings in Hampi that had not been damaged or destroyed. As the name given to this palace is because of its shape, it resembles the balcony and the passages covered with the dome that looks like an open lotus bud The central dome is also curved as a lotus bird. The curves of this place are given an Islamic touch, while the multi-layered roof design is moreover related to Indo style of building. The style and design is inquisitive blend of Islamic and Indian way of architecture. The palace is two-storied building, well structured. Symmetrically, it is surrounded by a rectangle wall and four towers. These towers are also in pyramidal shape, given a lotus-like structures. Visual, around 24 pillars are present to the support the arch windows and balcony of the palace. The walls and pillars are carved beautifully and patterns like sea creatures and birds. A segregated area that is used by the royal women of Vijayanagara dynasty. Most of the time seeking pleasure and peace in this palace.